Hi everybody, this is Johnny. I'm looking at CalTPA Cycle 2, Rubric 2.4, and this is under Step 2, Teach and Assess. So let's take this one apart. This one's pretty straightforward. The essential question for this one is, how does the candidate incorporate educational technology, digital virtual tools and resources to provide opportunities for students to achieve or demonstrate the content-specific learning goals? So what is educational technology doing for your students? How are you using educational technology to move your students towards the learning goals? So what matters here? Student use of educational technology, and it's going to be plain in the rubric. So let's go ahead and take apart the rubric. We'll start at level 3. And I'm doing this one a little differently on purpose, and I'll explain why. So you see I have 1, 2, and 3 here. Let's take apart level 3. Okay, so level 3 has just one block, and this is the musts that go with this. So let's read what's required for level 3. Candidate provides students with opportunities to use educational technology to achieve or demonstrate the content-specific learning goals. And the musts, very plain. Students use technology in their work towards a learning goal. It's pretty unambiguous, all right? I want to make sure that, as I have before, you have to do all of the things under level 3, okay, in order to get that score. Anything you don't do moves you to level 2. So the reason why I've set this out is some of you may be in a situation where this becomes a little problematic, and I hope I'm being particularly kind to kindergarten teachers. So this idea that students have educational technology in their hands to demonstrate or move towards their content-specific learning goals. This is just Johnny. You want to be careful. I've worked with technology for many years and done good things with technology, but you don't want to be doing some kind of false use of technology just to meet level 3. All right? If you're working with particularly young children and it does not make good sense, then you have to use your teacher judgment. I just want to set out that this is what happens if your students don't quite get to use the educational technology for themselves. It's not the end of the world. Just remember that level 2 scores are allowable. You just don't want any level 1s. You have to make sure that you use the technology to teach the students something. Candidate uses educational technology to present information in a one-to-many learning environment for a drill or practice type activity to achieve or demonstrate the content-specific learning goals. So let's make sure we understand. Under level 3, this is students using the technology. Under level 2, this is you using the technology. So if you're not able to manifest having every student have their hands on technology towards the learning goals in a worthwhile way, as long as you use some technology yourself to present information to your students, then you'll meet level 2, all right? If you have no uses of technology, and so this is the cautious one, okay? So if you don't use it, okay, and the students don't use it, you'll have to get a level 1, and you don't want to have level 1s, okay? You want to avoid level 1s. So in the minimum, you want to be using it for yourself, if possible, and when it makes good sense, when it supports students to move towards the learning goals, then you have students use the technology, all right? Technology is a tool for learning, not just, so you want to make sure you're not just pushing something that doesn't actually move kids towards the learning goals. Let's take a look at levels 4 and 5. Okay, so for level 4, candidate provides students choice of a selected range of educational technology to achieve and or demonstrate content learning goals, right? So that's this first part up here. Second part, students use educational technology to facilitate and enhance peer or group collaboration in or beyond the classroom, beyond the classroom. So online documents, email, pen pals, online interviews with students at another school or in another state or country. So if we take level 4 and we look at the musts, there are 2 musts here. You must vary the use of technology, so it's not everybody using the Chromebook doing the same thing. Some may be using iPads, some may be using phones, some may be using some other kind of virtual tool. Some may be using the Chromebooks to do a slideshow, some may be doing research. You want to be making sure there's varied use of the educational technology. Okay? The next piece, the next must for level 4 is they're doing things together, the collaboration piece, all right? So the technology moves students to work well together. So for level 4, there are 2 musts. Vary the use, and students use the technology in shared work. Do those 2 things, and you move to level 4. So as I've said before, level 3 is the challenge one. Okay, everything's weighted on level 3, but you can see these next 2 for level 4 aren't a huge reach, and if you can put those 2 into your planning, into your teaching, then you'll move to a level 4. Let's be aspirational and think about level 5. Okay, so there's 1 block here for level 5. Students are knowledgeable enough about educational technology to independently choose which educational technology resources they want to use to achieve, demonstrate, and extend beyond the learning goals of the lesson. Students choose to use a graphics program to create and add images to their online document without being told to do this by the candidate. So this one is all about students' ownership. So independently choose the technology resources they want to use. All right. So this is moving away from teacher-directed technology use to students owning the technology to move their own learning forward. So that's what you need to hold in mind for this particular, for level 5. So the musts for level 5, student independent use based on the choice, okay? And it's just all about student-initiated use of technology based on learning goals. All right, so make sure you just have students in charge of the technology. They're making decisions about how they're going to be using the technology to move their own learning towards the learning goals you've set out. All right, so for this particular rubric, the technology rubric, these are the sources of evidence. Okay, the first one is all the annotated video clips. In all the annotations, there's actually a particular annotation you're supposed to be giving towards technology. Make sure you don't just say, here are students using technology, but how and why they're using the technology. And then if you want to push towards level 4, you talk about your varied use of educational technology in your annotated video clips. You talk about how students are sharing in their work using the technology, and you also could move to level 5 and talk about the choice and initiation that students make for their own educational technology use. So that's all the annotated video clips piece. And this comes up in the written narrative about analysis of informal and student self-assessments. Somewhere in your informal assessments or student self-assessments, there might be a question about how technology, the students' technology use, supported and moves students towards their learning goals. All right. So this was 2.4. It's all about technology. I'm going to be moving on to 2.5 now. Hope this was helpful.